You know, back in September of this year, I actually surpassed my 6-year anniversary here on YouTube. And once I started taking the channel seriously in May of 2020, I started doing eShop Hidden Gems videos where I would look at fantastic eShop games that I think every collection should have. This year, I've been a little lax on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think after reviewing over 500 eShop games and giving suggestions on games that I think are awesome, I was allowed to take a couple of months off, but I am back stronger than ever. I've covered some really good games this year, and this month is no different because the Switch eShop is a fantastic place. There's incredible digital games on there for you to check out, and a lot of them even have a physical component. So if you're a physical collector, you can check out those releases as well. Today, though, we're going to kick things off with some really fun Picross titles, and we're going to go to our game of the month at the end, which I think you guys are really going to love. 2-for-1 deal here with Picross S Capcom Classics and Picross S SNK and Neo Geo Classics. I featured the Genesis and Master System version of this one a couple of years ago when it released because I just love Picross games. I think they're fun. They're good brain teasers. They're things that are able to kind of take you out of like the normal kind of like overactive and kind of crazy experiences that you get from traditional video games. These are nice things to kind of reset your brain a little bit and let you think as opposed to just kind of go balls to the wall and try to kill. They're really fun though. These are awesome. You are basically solving picture puzzles and unlocking character art of your favorite Capcom and SNK characters, and they're great. They're really fun. They're simple games. They're easy to understand. They're not overly complex. They're still tricky at times, don't get me wrong. There are definitely going to be some puzzles where you're just going to be pulling your hair out, but if you stick with it and you utilize the things that are available to you and you think hard, you'll solve the problem. These are $17.99 each, and I realize that these are not for everybody. They were for me. I was happy to pay that price, happy to get these. And I think if you are a fan of Picross games, you'll love these too, especially because they tie into both Capcom and SNK. I think that's pretty awesome. Fights in Tight Spaces is the beat-em-up I didn't know I needed in my life because it is a beat-em-up unlike any beat-em-up I have ever played before because it is so decidedly not a beat-em-up at all. It's a card battler. It plays very much like Slay the Spire. There's just a very beautiful strategic element in place here where you need to move your character around in your particular little tight space that is mentioned in the title to avoid being hit, to utilize your enemies' attacks against each other, to bash people's heads in on the bar top. It is an absolutely brilliant little game that I am just blown away by. Absolutely blown away by this game. It is something that, I don't remember who told me about this last year, but it was one where they mentioned it to me and I was really interested in it, but I just kind of put it on the back burner until it went on sale. And it is something that I really wish I had bought earlier because I deprived myself of literally one of the best strategic card games I've ever played in my life. Gorgeous to look at, beautiful to behold, fantastic to play, and just an absolute incredible time from top to bottom. Great deck building action, 200 cards to choose from so you can customize things as much as you want to. The game changes like every time you play it, so you're able to choose your path as you go through. Fantastic game, super fun, and only $24.99. It's absolutely wonderful. You should play this one. If you like tactical strategy, if you like card battlers, this game needs to be on your list. It wouldn't be an eShop video if I didn't include a roguelike game on here, and this is the Swindle. This is a game about breaking and entering, and every time that you load up a level, you start a new day, it's going to be a brand new building that is procedurally generated and changes every time you play it. This game is amazing. I originally played this on Steam, and what it is you are playing as a thief, you are breaking and entering to try and collect, ultimately, the big technology that Scotland Yard has created called the Devil's Basilisk. And as you go, you're going to find different upgrades for your character, things that range from double jumps to being able to cling to the wall to different security clearances to the ability to hack computers to get more money. It's a really excellent game. Not only is the gameplay really solid, like it's a great roguelike with fantastic platforming options, the soundtrack in the game is absolutely magnificent as well. I truly enjoy this game, and I think this is one of those just incredibly strong titles that is just perfectly suited to the Nintendo Switch. Plays great on the original Switch, also plays fantastic on the Nintendo Switch 2, which you would expect. And at $14.99, you can't beat that price. The game's amazing. Don't get tied to any of the characters that you're going to play as, though, because when they die, they're gone, like any good roguelike would have them be. I'm a big fan of the Romancing Saga series. I think it's an underrated RPG franchise that just never really found its footing here in the West. And I think it's a shame because I think it's an excellent series that deserves more eyes on it. And recently we had Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song Remastered International Edition release, and that is a mouthful of a title, but it's one of Square Enix's classic games. This is, in my eyes, the one that really kind of set the table for what the Romancing Saga could be, or the entire Saga series, really. It's a beautiful game to look at. It has been remastered in HD. Okay, well, beautiful to look at if you consider the fact that these are aged graphics that have been updated for HD visuals. So you have to take a little bit of the good with the bad here. There's new localization here, so you can actually get it in different languages. Full HD graphical upgrade, like I mentioned. There's more characters that can be recruited, and it's just a fun game. The franchise is really excellent, and this is a really creative and really excellent remaster to get on modern consoles. This is normally $29.99. It's worth playing it if you're interested in that kind of game, but through the 16th of December, this game's on sale for $26.99. If you grew up a fan of things like the Dungeons & Dragons television show, or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or Thundercats, MythForce is a game you need to have in your life. This is a first-person combat game where you basically step into a 1980s fantasy cartoon. I love it. It's really creative. It's a little messy at times. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you this is a perfect game. There's definitely some optimization here that I think could still be done. There are definitely some clunky moments, and as always with all of my footage, these are captured on the Switch 2, so clunky moments on the Switch 2 makes me think that they haven't really paid a ton of attention to this one since it was released, but I still enjoy it for what it's worth. And it is a multiplayer game. I will say, I have not played multiplayer online yet, so that could be a completely different experience, but from a single-player perspective, if you are a fan of those kinds of cartoons and those kinds of experiences from when you were a kid, it's well worth playing. There's 4 different classes you're able to choose from. Each class plays a little bit differently. The combat is really fun. The enemies are classic cartoon villains. Like, I fight a bunch of skeletons in this level, as you're seeing here. There's traps, like fire traps and things like that, that will go after you as you're playing. It's a very creative game. Now, I will tell you, put this one on a wish list. Wait for it to go on discount. It's not something I think that you are going to want to rush out and pay full price for. It's only $20 full price, so it's not like really breaking the bank, but you can get it on a deal. Those little hiccups and those stutters as you're playing won't be as kind of painful as you experience them. But from a purely aesthetic point and from a fun factor, MythForce is excellent. This game completely came out of nowhere for me. This is Absolum. And I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, and I apologize if so. This is a roguelike beat-em-up from .inu, and I did not expect this. I didn't know about this game's existence until I read an article from the AV Club talking about the best beat-em-ups of all time, and this is on the list. And I looked at it, and I saw the release date, and I was like, well, how can this be on the list of best beat-em-ups of all time? There's no way this game is nearly as good as they're making it out to be, and they undersold it in their article. And I'll actually be doing a follow-up video on that article next week, talking about what I think are actually the best 25 beat-em-ups of all time. This one will be on the list. It is an absolutely magnificent game. This just released in October, and it's already a top-tier beat-em-up of all time. Fantastic visuals, incredible gameplay, and just some of the strongest storytelling and world-building I've ever seen for a beat-em-up experience. Magnificent title from top to bottom. I am completely blown away by what this game offers. It's $24.99. I am just shocked with how great it is, and if you haven't played it, you should. I could probably just copy and paste my audio from my video on Monday about Neon Inferno, but we'll talk a little bit more about it here. So Neon Inferno is a fantastic new game from Retroware. It is a run-and-gun shooter that's a little bit Contra, it's a little bit Metal Slug, it's a little bit Wild Guns, and I love every single bit of it. So the game is just stunning to look at. It takes place in a futuristic cyberpunk world. You are a mob hitman, and you are on your way through each level to beat the bad guys, to fight the boss, and to win. It's a run-and-gun shooter. You know what's going to happen here. You know what you're supposed to do. It's not that hard to figure out. You can choose from one of 2 characters. It is unbelievably excellent multiplayer. You can play single-system co-op on a couch with 2 players. It is absolutely magnificent, and one of legitimately the strongest games I've played this year. It's something that really kind of blew my mind when I first played it at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. It wasn't something that I expected. I have enjoyed everything that Retroware has done, but it wasn't something that I expected to be nearly as good as it is until I sat down and played it with my friend Andy, and it is absolutely magnificent. This is a $19.99 game. You're not going to be disappointed by this one. It blends amazing gameplay styles. It looks incredible. It sounds great, and it is ridiculously fun single player, but somehow it's even better multiplayer. I was on the fence about Outlaws Remastered when it was announced. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up. I remember playing it back in '97 when it launched. I was a senior in high school, and it was something where I was curious about this remaster, but I wasn't really sold on it until I saw Metal Jesus' video on it. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to pick that one up. I'm absolutely going to play it. And I am so happy that I did, because this game plays incredibly well on the Nintendo Switch. First off, motion controls are part of it, which is really cool. If you like to play FPSs with motion controls, this is a game for you. Controls incredibly well. It looks really good, like the remaster is solid. It feels fantastic. It plays really well. The levels are creative. The characters are fun to shoot. I'm not going to lie. I love the taunts and stuff that they give you as you're playing. Like, you're outnumbered, Sheriff. I think that's great. It's a wonderful game. It's a little pricey. I will give you that. It's a $29.99 game. I think it's worth it just because I have a personal tie to this from when it originally released, but it's something that I would suggest tossing on a wish list worst case scenario. If this is something that looks interesting to you, maybe wait till it drops in price a little bit and check it out. But if you're looking for a fun first-person shooter on the Switch that incorporates some really creative elements that are like exclusive to the console, this is a good one to pick up. Outlaws is really fun. I wasn't actually invested in the character of Lara Croft until the Survivor Tomb Raider series. This trilogy of games that originally launched, I think, on the PS3 and 360. I originally played this on the PlayStation 4. It was something where I picked up this version here, Tomb Raider, on like a $5 discount at GameStop one day, and I was blown away by the experience. I thought it was an unbelievable game. I still do. So when this became available on the Nintendo Switch, I picked it up immediately. When I first played on my Switch, this was a franchise that I said should come to the console. It was one that I wanted to see. It was one I was hoping to see eventually. And now that we have the Switch 2, it's here. I wish it was the PlayStation 4 version. I wish the hair was a little bit better, but I am not going to complain too much because the gameplay is absolutely magnificent. It is legitimately one of my favorite games of all time, one of my favorite portrayals of a classic character, and just something that I think works. The game is incredible, it's fun, it's difficult, it's challenging, and it will make you give a damn about Lara and her supporting cast. This is $19.99, and it is worth every single penny. And of course, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is going to be our game of the month. It's a brand new beat-em-up from .mu and Tribute Games. It was something that I was just... I was so excited about when I heard about, because I loved Shredder's Revenge. I think it was my game of the year it launched. And I was so excited to get something that was from that same team featuring some of my favorite comic book characters. And this game does not disappoint at all. First off, character selection is an A+. Like, giving us Phyla-Vell and Nova and a badass She-Hulk and stuff like that is a great move. On top of characters like Beta Ray Bill, Captain America, Wolverine, Spidey, all the classics that you would expect to be in there. Like, Beta Ray Bill probably isn't a classic you'd expect, but I ain't complaining that he's there. Trust me. Also, Rocket Raccoon, Venom. Look, the game just works, man. This game is so much fun. The look of it is wonderful. Tons of, like, endless arrays of Marvel mooks to beat up and take out. Multiplayer on a couch, multiplayer online with up to 4 players. The gameplay is solid. The soundtrack is wonderful. It is silky smooth on the Switch 2. It is so much fun. So of course, it's the game of the month. Game is absolutely brilliant. I am blown away by it. I cannot wait to see what comes next from this team. I already know there's going to be DLC for it. We're going to get more characters. I mean, we did on Ninja Turtles, so I'm assuming we're going to get them here as well. And I can't wait to see what they do next. Like, my dream is to have them do a DC Comics beat 'em up. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but fingers crossed one day. But right now, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, $29.99 game, on sale for $26.99 here in the States until the 15th of December. Love this game. Absolute game of the month. Contender for game of the year. So there you have it. 10, actually 11 if you count the 2 Picross games. fantastic eShop games that I think every collection should have. These are really fun titles, and I know for a lot of folks, they don't really enjoy collecting digitally, they only want physical. Like I said at the start, a lot of these have a physical component, so check those out as well. And if you don't mind, digital's a great way to go. You can add to a fantastic collection and have some awesome games to play. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite game was that I featured this month. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Like I said, I've done these pretty much monthly since I really started taking the channel seriously, and I've reviewed over 500 eShop games. The link is on screen right now if you want to check those videos out. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. And until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.